Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's that time of the month again. It's time for finished pages and it's finally June. I'm sure some of you are saying, oh my gosh, it's already June, but not for me. May felt like it dragged on forever and ever, and I was incredibly busy in May. I ended up working 11 hours one day, which is very unusual for me. I usually only work 8-hour days at my job. So yeah, May was very, very long and slow for me because I was incredibly busy at work. So I ended up only doing 13 pages. I think at the end of last month's video, I said I wanted to color a page in all of the books I bought last month. Again, I did manage to do it last month, but I did not do it this month. That did not happen. I ended up, towards the end of the month, doing just only color by number pages. The beginning of the month started out very strong, but it kind of like very quickly dropped off after that just because of how busy I was. So anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to get this book out of the way first. The New Easy Coloring by Joshua Dunbar has just 10 pages left in it to color. So very, very soon I will say that I have completed this book. Let's get to what I did this month though. I did the cover page, which is the flowers. I did not follow the cover, as you can see. It was a bit more colorful than mine. I wanted to do something more muted. But yes, I like how this came out. I've been using my Ohuhu markers entirely in this book. And yeah, I wanted to do something more muted, and I'm happy with how it came out. Next, I did this page for Mermay, which I kind of struggle with because you guys know that I don't really like coloring mermaids at all, and in fact, I don't really like coloring anything ocean related. But this book did have a mermaid page in it, and I hadn't touched it because I don't really like to color mermaids. So she was sitting around waiting for Mermay. And I am happy with how it turned out though, actually. I do like the page. Again, I was feeling muted tones this month, I guess, because this is also very muted compared to some of the other pages. I did actually color the background. It's just such a light blue that it almost isn't really even showing up on camera. And then I did go in with some gel pens on this page, which I don't do too often in this book, but I did highlights on her tail, her stomach, and some of the water down here as well. And then I did this stained glass window. I did a variety of different colors of gray in the back. I pretty much pulled out every gray Ohuhu marker that I have, because if I did it all in one gray tone, I thought it would look very, very boring. This wasn't one of my favorite pages, so I'd kind of saved it to the end to do because the wall just didn't interest me very much. I guess you could have made it brick or anything else, but I wanted to go with stone. I do like, though, how the actual glass itself came out. I think it turned out good. And then I did this little dog chasing the tennis ball. I think it's a corgi, and I do not think I colored it correctly. I actually think that this part here was also supposed to be white. Like it was supposed to be out from his eyes and around his muzzle, but oops. Oh well, that's alright. He still looks pretty cute. I used the brown tone of Ohuhu markers for this page, except for the tennis ball, of course. I think I used like a lime green or something that I fished out of one of the other sets. I have been wanting to color this page for a while. I don't know why it took me so long. This is a really cute page. I think Joshua Dunbar does his animals really, really well. And then last, I would say not least, but maybe least for me, I finally colored the ship page. And what did I just say? I don't really like the ocean. So this page was kind of taunting me for a long time. I finally just manned up and did it, I guess. Womaned up, whatever you want to say. I finally did it though. I did not want to do this page. I don't like the sea. I don't like boats. I just don't like any of it. But I do want to complete this book, so I had to do it. I actually think it turned out fine. I did want to make it stormy because to me it looked a little bit more like rough water and not like something that would be like a nice day to sail on. So I did a dark background, and again I let it dry a little too much, so it's a bit splotchy there, but it's not terrible. I did a very dark water and everything as well. It's not terrible. I mean, I actually think it turned out fine. It was just like I didn't want to color this page because I don't like the subject matter. But I needed to get it out of the way to have this book completed. So, I don't know. I have 10 pages left. Very few. I don't actually think I have anything else that's like nice and themed. I have some cats, a dragon, like a couple of more landscape pages, I think. I think I've done almost all of the pages, yeah, at the beginning of the book. Nearly all of the pages that are vertical rather than horizontal are already done. I think I just favor those. It's a lot easier to open a book and color it like this than it is to open the book this way for me, especially because all of my markers are just right here out of the view of the camera, and that's where I have them sitting, so the book, it doesn't want to stay open because my markers are sitting back there. Okay, let's move on to next doing the small, like cutesy style books. And I do have a page out of Girl Moans. I've kind of just been coloring a page a month in here, unintentionally though. I realized this month that that's sort of what I've been doing. It hasn't been in my plans or anything, I just really like the art style in this book, so I gravitate towards it a little bit. And I did this page for spring because it's very rainy. Well, actually it hasn't been too rainy here this spring, but usually it's very rainy in spring. So I did the girl with the umbrella and the cat, and I really like how this page turned out. My blending for the background I don't think turned out too bad for the rain. And I did the water droplets with white gel pen. I went over the flowers with paint markers, as you can see. A lot of people do that in their books. It's okay technique to me. I just don't like how it looks all the time. I do actually like the black lines, but I think it was fine on the flowers. And yeah, I kept this one pretty simple. I didn't do too much crazy with the grass or the dirt or anything because I just wasn't feeling like it. I did a little bit of white highlights on her boots, and I made the cat a calico, which I think I've done before in here. I kind of favor calico cats because I had one growing up. No, I did make this cat striped last month. A lot of the time I will do calicos though. But yeah, actually I'm very happy with this page. Again, I used my 72 set of Ohuhu markers, and I probably busted into a couple of the skin tone ones from the 36 skin tone set, especially to do the cat, the box, and the dirt here. I would guess that I did those. Yeah, and I did the umbrella rainbow because I thought that was a good idea as well. I didn't want to do it yellow and have it match her too much. I wanted there to be some contrast. But yeah, very happy with this one. No glitter yet this month, and actually, maybe not at all. I'd have to think about it. Okay, next is Unfazed by Holly Dolly, who has very quickly become one of my favorite artists. She has a newer book out called The Divide that I really would like to pick up, and I think I probably will in my next haul. Oh no, there was a little bit of glitter, okay. I did this girl. She looked very, oh, and this would fit some of the era in here for this Unfazed thing. She looked very Green Day's American Idiot album, if any of you know what that is, and if any of you know how the band dressed on stage and in promotionals for the album. This is how they dressed, in the black and the red with the red tie and the black pants, and that is exactly what she reminded me of. Even the thick eyeliner around the eyes, I went in and added that as well with a fine liner. And I'm very, very thrilled with how this page turned out. I had to get into my old set of Cali Art markers though because I did not have enough blackish grays. So the one on her pants is a little faded and splotchy just because it was an older marker, but I actually don't care because it made the pants look kind of distressed, which again would work with the whole outfit that she had going on and that Green Day had going on for the promotionals. I didn't really do anything with the background except some red paint on some of these stars in the background. And this is the page where I used the glitter, so. It's on all of her piercings. I don't know if you can see very well. Yeah, on her face and then her bracelet. And as well the rivets on her belts. I remember those big chunky belts with the big silvery rivets on them, and I wanted to capture that too. This could have been her belly. She could have been a crop top. Because they do make crop tops with like these artificial long sleeves underneath them and there's nothing else, but I wanted it to be like she had layered the two t-shirts because I feel like that was more the style at the time, was to layer the crop top over another t-shirt rather than to just wear it like most people would today. Yeah, I'm very thrilled with this page. This is my favorite page this month. I love this book so much because I listened to a lot of bands and music that were popular in this era and that people would have dressed like this, or people in the band would have dressed like that, so this is a fun book because I can really kind of go crazy with it too. Alright, next up, I have a page in Animals by BV Tinta. This is one of those books that I bought. I managed to color in one of them. Well, I colored in a couple, but not all of them. And I did the very last page, let me get to it. and it's this horse. I'm happy with it, although I tried something a bit different. So I wanted to make this horse a buckskin, which is a color where the horse is a blondish brown with a dark mane and tail, and they usually have dapples. Let me pull up on my phone the picture that I was looking at for inspiration for this, because looking at a picture for inspiration, I was like, okay, I could pull this off easily, but actually executing it was a little harder. So this is what I was going for here. You can see the coloration, and you can see these lighter colored spots all over the horse. Those are the dapples on his body. So that's what I was trying to pull off here, and I tried it by using just the Copic colorless blender, because that's kind of the type of thing that it's for. I never really use them very often, and so I was just kind of dotting around with the colorless blender. And I think it turned out okay. It's not terrible, but it's also not like super awesome. It's probably a technique that would be a lot easier to do with colored pencils rather than with chunky alcohol markers, but I can't really use colored pencils because they hurt my hand just way too much to color with. I'm not mad with how this turned out. I actually think it looks good. It's just the technique was a little weird and could maybe be better. I think, like I said, if you used colored pencils, even on top of this, but even on top of marker, but for me still, it hurts my hands too bad. I did use a little bit of gel pen to make the diamond on his face. Actually, was nothing there. His horse was just solid. There was nothing there at all. He didn't have any markings. So I made a little diamond instead of a full blaze. A full blaze would have been the white line goes all the way down his face to his nose like this. But I thought he looked cute with just the diamond there. And then yeah, I did the sunflowers. And I tried again to mostly use one set of markers because I think that's a fun challenge. So everything other than, of course, the greenery in the background was the 36 count of Ohuhu skin tone markers, but I thought that it wouldn't look super great if the trees were brown. You know, like it was everything would be dead then, right? So I went with green for that and went ahead and let myself use a couple of other markers. I am happy with it. It's just, I think you would have a much easier time executing the technique with pencils. I think you can tell what I was going for at least. Okay. I did also manage to do another page out of Matchstick Mouse Springtime, and this was actually the last page I colored this month. I literally finished it last night. And I wanted to do a very simple page. Usually Matchstick Mouse is quite simple, but I wanted to do one that was super, super simple and basic, and I even still have my blotter page in here because I just finished it and I had used some gel pen, and that's what I like to use these little plastic sheets for, because a lot of the time if you put it behind it and you were coloring on it a lighter color, especially these darker colors that I have on here will kind of bleed back through because it reactivates the ink on this. You can clean these with alcohol if you want to, but mine is so stained that I can't get it clean anymore. So what I like to do is if I use gel pen or paint, once it's dried I will put this on it and then close the book. Just because I have had something before where I thought it was dry, but it wasn't, and I closed the book and the pages stuck together. So this prevents that from happening. That's what I'm using that for. And since I just finished it last night, I thought the gel pen might need a little longer to dry. We can zoom in a little bit for this page, I think. Okay, so we can see it a little bit better. All right, so for this one, again, I challenged myself to use a single set of markers. And I used the Japanese exclusive set of Copic Chow markers that I brought home. And I just made it very pastel and light for springtime. And I'm happy with how it turned out, my little birds. This one, again, very simple. I didn't do a lot of shading or anything. I actually did the same technique I used on the horse in the background. I just did some dots in the sky color to make it a bit different. However, I can see it in person. It's just not showing up super well on camera because it is such a light blue that I picked for the background. And I did some blending on the leaves as well, from a lighter green into a yellowish green, and it turned out very well. I'm very pleased with it, but of course the Copic markers are a lot easier to blend with than other brand of markers because they are a premium marker. So, they're even easier than your Ohuhu markers to blend with, but that said, I'm still very happy with how my blending turned out on the leaves. I just didn't do any on any of the birds or anything. Those I just kind of, waited for them to dry and then did the layers for what little bit of shading they had. And he didn't have the little feathers here for this pattern, so I tried to just continue to follow it a little bit with my markers myself, and I think it turned out fine. I think I managed to do it. And yeah, the Matchstick Mouse is sort of a weird gray because the set only had 2 grays. but I just wanted to use that set entirely and nothing else. I didn't want to make her brown either because the branch was already brown. I was trying to do as many different colors as I could. And then the berries do have that little bit of a white gel pin on them like I was talking about for highlights. I assume these are berries. I'm not sure. I guess they could be some other kind of seed or pod, but I just made them berries. I was struggling to think of what kind of berries grow on a tree in spring also though, and I wasn't really sure. So I just made them pink, and I think that's good enough. Wow, Morgan O'Brien's art is always so cute, so you'll be seeing me color a lot in the Matchstick Mouse Summer one because Summer is one of my favorite books from him. So next up are the color by number pages that I was talking about doing, and I did two out of here. Let's zoom out again because these are some big pages. There we go, that was in first. Okay. These are bigger pages and you're going to want to see them fully, I think. So actually both of the pages I ended up doing this month were birds. I just do this book in order because it's a mystery. You can't see it anyway. It doesn't make any sense to pick a page at random to me. So I have 7 and 8 here, and 7 is this fat bird. I don't know if it's like a cockatoo or a cockatiel or maybe even a cardinal, but it's very cute. The only thing I wish that I picked a different blue for the background because it's kind of too much of a grayish blue. I always use my Ohuhu water-based markers. I've gotten through an entire book with them already, and now I'm on to a second book, so they have a very long lifespan. They have a lot of ink in them. I do just think I picked kind of a weird blue color for this. I don't know. Once again, there's this particular page here at the front with this jellyfish that I haven't seen yet in the book, and then when I saw all the blue, again, I was like, oh, it's the jellyfish. No, still not the jellyfish. It was a bird this time. Eventually we'll find that jellyfish page, I think. Maybe next month. So yeah, I don't know. For the sky, sort of an odd blue, but I do like how the bird came out. He's cute. There is a little bit of black here from the page I did last month with the mouse, which turned out awesome, because sometimes I forget to put down a page in between when I do the black outline. The only marker that has actually ran out for me was the black Ohuhu water-based marker, just because pretty much every single page has some amount of black marker on it, whether it's a lot or a little bit. Like in this case, it was just his eyes. So that ran out months ago. So I do use a black Sharpie, and I never put a blotter page under this when I'm coloring with the water-based markers because they don't go through. As you can see, the only thing that ghosted through from this was the black, right? It's just his little face in the black background. So I'm never using a blotter page to begin with, but I did forget when I started with the black, and I stopped myself and I was like, oh, I need to put down a blotter page, but I had started to color a square already, so there's just a little like speck there, but if we, we do this, then you can't see it, right? So next, though, was this spectacular page with the little baby duck in the flowers, and this one turned out just fantastic. I am in love with this one. It is so cute and so perfect, and this is why I love Jennifer Rowling's books, because some of the pages, like the mouse that I did last month and this one, are just fantastic. Aren't they just stunning and so cute? Yes, this one is just so awesome. I don't even care that it was 2 birds in a row because of how cute this one was. And this one was just, like I said, just fantastic. I'm just awestruck by how adorable it turned out. Such a cute little guy. It used a lot of yellow though. Very first page to use that much yellow for me, I think. Alright, my last book for the month is, of course, The Scenic by A.J. Quinnell, or Eclipse Art. I said last month that I started coloring this book immediately and was addicted to it. That still stands. This is like one of my all-time favorite color by number books for sure, and I just purchased it. But I'm already 4 pages into it. So, this month we started out with the horse in the field. And these are just different, well, as it says, it's scenic, it's just different nice, beautiful scenes. Most of them do have like an animal or some people or something in them, so it's not just trees and grass. It's got a little bit of something going on. And this horse is out here grazing in this beautiful field in the mountains. And I do like how this one turned out with all the sky and everything. I think these are probably meant to be like fields of flowers back here too. And then I also did this page, which also turned out really fantastic, with the moose in front of the stream or the river with the mountain and these nice flowers in front. I can't think of what these are called. They have a very specific shape. I cannot think of it. And then the beautiful mountainscape up here. Yes, again, these pages are just fantastic. AJ Quinnell, whether it is a single artist or a group of people, always puts out such stunning color by numbers. Now, I'm not a fan of the circulism ones like some people are. I like these ones that have the thicker black lines, but they always turn out fantastic, and it's a very respectable color palette. I'll show you the back. It's only 24 colors, 25 if you count the fact that there's just white on some of them, and it's nothing crazy. You know, you have brown, light brown, dark brown. That's very normal. There's no crazy colors in there. It's not like coffee, cappuccino, taupe, which can be very difficult for me to find in my markers. Finding 25 colors, easy. Super easy, super respectable. So I really, really love the color by number books by this artist, and I cannot gush over them enough, especially this one, because the 2 pages I did this month just turned out so fantastic. I love them. I cannot wait to do more, although I have already seen my next page and it looks quite complicated. There are 2 people in it though, actually. There's 2 little people right there. It looks like it's going to be crazy though. I can't wait to see what this looks like colored, because it looks like there's like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if this is a forest with a ton of trees. I don't know what I'm looking at. We will see. I do this one in order though, because the numbers actually show up pretty well. I find sometimes with some books when there's not a black background and it's just a white background and they put the numbers in sort of that light gray color, you can't read them. But since these are all in white on the back of the page, whenever you color over it with your markers, you can actually still see it because they're in white. They show up over all the colors no matter what. Even the black marker, I think I have, yeah. See, I can tell on this page from a month ago, I did black and I can still read the colors just fine. So that's another thing I like about this company, guys. They are just doing everything right. I will always buy the color by number books. And you should go out and get this one too, because it's fantastic. It's very beautiful. It actually does have a few pages that are landscape even, if that's your thing. I think it's like 5 pages at the back of the book. But yeah, that's it. That was it for me. It was 13 pages. It's not a lot. I didn't meet my goals, but I was just way too busy for the month of May. That's why I never do those plan videos. I know a lot of people do the plan videos, and I was so great at sticking with their plans. I can never pull that off. I will say that my plan for June is to start doing some summertime pages. So I'll switch to like Matchstick Mouse Summer and maybe a few of my summer Camellia Angel Cova books, because June for me is kind of the start of summer. I think most people view Memorial Day as the start of summer. For me, it starts around June when it starts to get a little bit warmer, weather gets a little bit nicer, so I'll shift away from all my spring stuff and get out my June and summer stuff. And then soon it'll be 4th of July and August, and then fall again, finally, which is my favorite month to color in. But yeah, so those are my plans for the month. I plan to color some summer pages. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Thank you guys once again so much for watching my videos and commenting, and you can always message me on Instagram if you want to do a summer themed buddy color for next month. I would be up to that. Of course, you guys at this point pretty much know what books I have, I think, because I have shown them off so many times, but I should probably do a collection video. Anyways, yeah, back to what I was saying. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next month.